Hi, this is the Building Universe. I'll be making videos dedicated to widening your knowledge about buildings and built environment. This is my first video. For now, I'll be introducing you to the concept of buildings, their functions, and the types of buildings we have. I'm sure the word building is not new to you. I would like to put it into more shape and context. A building is a closed structure in which mankind can inhabit for any given purpose. Such purposes are not limited to shelter, privacy, storage, work, and many others. The purpose of your building is the reason the building is erected, the what to do of the building. That's the purpose of your building. But sometimes the word building and structure are used interchangeably. Why all buildings are structures, not all structures are buildings? Structure refers to any body of connected parts that is designed to bear loads, but may or may not be occupied by people. The difference between building and structure is that building takes into account the concept of people. For example, an hotel or a residential building, they are buildings in essence, and they are also structures. But when you talk of bridge, dams, tunnels, they are structures, but they are not buildings. So let's move on to the types of building we have. We have about 13 types of buildings. I would like to also refer to them as categories of buildings. We have office buildings, residential buildings, retail buildings, hospitality buildings, multipurpose buildings, institutional or civic buildings, gathering buildings, religious buildings, educational buildings, industrial buildings, and many others. The examples of this type of buildings are in front of them. For residential building, they are the building that we live in, our living quarter. There we can live in apartments, bungalows, duplex, detached houses. For the retail buildings, we have our malls, our boutiques, our shops. Institutional buildings, we have our museums, we have our conference centers, we have our prisons. Yes. For religion buildings, these are our place of worship, where we go to serve our God. Here we have our churches, our mosques, our monasteries, our synagogues. Educational buildings are where we go to study. Yes, they are our elementary school, the high school, the universities, polytechnics, technical schools, and many others. Industrial buildings include the factories, the power plants, manufacturing plants, etc. Also, we have transportation buildings. These are the airports, the bus terminals, the ferries. Recreational buildings include the fitness centers, our gyms, our bowling units. Then the agricultural buildings include our barns, silos, and among others. The examples of these buildings are not limited to the examples you are seeing here. You can explore the different categories of buildings to see more examples of them. But by now, I'm sure you would have been able to place each type of building you have under its respective category. Alright, so let's move over to the function of buildings. The function of buildings are what is required from the building we are occupying. Aside from it being our living or our working quarter or our storing quarter, what do we expect from it? There are three basically. The first one is comfortability and convenience. The second one is safety, and the third function is serviceability. When we talk of the convenience and the comfortability, we talk about three concepts. We talk about the lighting, the ventilation, and the utilization of space. Let me take the lighting and the ventilation together. Your building must be oriented in such a way that you will have access to natural air and daylight. During the day, when you are supposed to use the daylight to work, you'll be able to use it. Ventilation means the free passage of clean air within the building, and it also helps to prevent bad odor within the building. As for the utilization of space, the rooms must be grouped and planned in such a way that the space within the house will be properly utilized. Now let's go over to the second function of building, second thing or second functional requirement of a building. That's safety. Our building must be safe. Safe against what? Safe against fire, against burglary, against flooding. We have a lot of concepts of that safety. Against fire, you can ensure that the components of your building are built with non-combustible materials like concrete, your walls, your columns, your beams. And also you can put in fire defense mechanisms in place like water sprinklers, fire extinguishers, and fire alarm systems in case of emergency. For burglary, CCTV cameras, automatic alarm system are used in many high secured buildings to record the act and caution them against the act of burglary, against any act of burglary within the building. And lastly, the last function of building is serviceability. Serviceability means the building should be suitable to perform its function during its working life. The working life is the age of the building. A very good building, a properly built building, is expected to last about 99 years. So the building is expected to perform its function for that span. So I believe in this session you'll be able to pick up one or two things. You should be able to know what a building is, the difference between a building and a structure, the types of building we have, the examples of those types, the functions of a building, the orientation, and how to protect your building against the effect of fire. This will be all for now. In the next video, we'll talk about who a professional builder is, what is expected from him, his relationship with other professionals in the construction industry, and why you should give your building project to a professional builder. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Save.